does the Bible actually mean anything to Jewish people?
Technically, no. Everything about Jesus walking on water.
So what's the salvation? Where's the salvation? Like, what do they believe is
I would. There's a place called Murray's Bagels. It's on 12th and 6th. So the reason that I gave you this tea, this is one of my favorite teas of all time. This is Marage Frere Paris breakfast tea. I probably mispronounce the first part,
but I could tell you practice.
I do.
I could tell you practice before we start, and that means a lot to me.
Yeah, I do it in the bathroom. And when I screw up, I just go, "You can do this," and then I try it again. But it's Paris breakfast tea. It is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. You want it highly caffeinated. You're getting it.
Yes, I did. I asked for it. I was like, please. And where do you get this stuff, by the way? Because you have a collection.
I do. Yeah.
You have a collection.
I do.
It's the Boston Tea Party in your drawer.
This is a New York tea party.
You just gained your
Based
independence.
in LA.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a coastal elite tea party.
Yes.
I get it from, so oftentimes people, a lot of my friends know I love tea.
Yeah.
And then people will often like say, hey, I came across this tea brand, have some of this, or like I bought you some of that. And other times I'll like read up on the tea boards. Is that what they call them? Tea message boards?
The tea boards? The tea boards?
The tea boards. I will read those and kind of see like
the tea blogs,
what's happening on the tea ratings, you know, the rating sites.
Right. What's tea Twitter saying?
Yeah. Well, that's a whole separate thing. It's called Tea Witter. Tea Witter. That's what it's called. I'm a professional comedian.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know who's running the page. I just imagine like cats and like cardigans just typing. Just sounds cozy.
I'm telling you right now, if there were a Twitter that was just cats and cardigans drinking tea, I would only look at that. Yeah. I wouldn't be on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, anything.
Yeah.
I'm not really on Facebook as it is now.
Automatically.
I am verified. I'm wearing a cardigan. I'm verified. I'm verified. You know what I was trying to? I didn't know how cold I was going to be today. And my bedroom gets really chilly. I don't know why. So I'm always convinced it's freezing.
Wait, you sleep with the windows open?
No. I don't have windows in my bedroom.
No ventilation. It's just cold.
Just cold. I keep a fan going. It sounds like I live in a dungeon.
No, you know what it is, especially where this is at. This is getting all the wind.
Yes.
Where you're at gets all, and it's cold.
There's a door. I want to be clear because I don't want people to think I live in a dungeon. There's a door that that I could open if I wanted ventilation. There's not a window. It's one of those things when you like move into a place, you're like, this isn't gonna be a big deal, and then you go, God, all I want is a window. Yeah.
You don't know what you really want until like 6 months after you get the place.
100%. Like I caught myself carving Brooks was here into my ceiling, and I was like, not good, I would
like some exposed brick.
Yeah.
You're just trying to figure out where's what. So through everything, I mean, how has me? I'm a really big advocate for comedians having steady relationships.
Okay,
girlfriends.
Oh no,
I'm a huge advocate for that.
I'm so nervous.
And so when through the pandemic, when I hear about guys in wholesome relationships, it's like, but people don't know comedians in relationships. It's a fine balance, man.
Oh yeah.
Like if she leaves, man, I've seen comics go off the deep end when she went. Oh my gosh.
I'm not going to name this comic, okay, but there's a comic who is a friend of mine who will hopefully one day be a guest on this podcast. Who, this is like a bad story to share. We were at a, it was a mic. It wasn't a show. It was a mic, but it was like one of the premier mics in LA. So it was packed out. There were probably like 60, 70 people there. And I already gone up and he was going up in a little bit and he was not doing well. All right. Like he was just going through a breakup with his fiance. Or sorry, no, I lied. He had bought the ring, but he hadn't proposed.
Okay.
But he had the ring.
Ugh.
And they broke up. And right around that time, I believe a job didn't work out for him. Okay. Like a job. He had this job offer and he was like, awesome. Then he got a separate job offer and he was like, I'm going to pass on the second one. Thank you so much. But this first one's what I've always wanted to do. And then the first one fell through. So he had nothing. I don't want to be clear. Like this guy's like a really sweet.
Did this all happen in one day? Like, did this
No,
all?
this all probably happened like a week.
Okay. I was thinking like his girlfriend, like his ex and the job got together.
Yeah. His ex and the job. They started a relationship. They're in a throuple, both Jobs and her.
Right. They planned it. I'm like, damn, this is horrible.
They found each other on Thrinder, and they all just. No, so he gets on stage and just legitimately has a meltdown and just like starts really going off, and he's like you want jokes, you know what's really funny, let me tell you what's been a really funny week. We're just like no no, we're all watching from the side being like no, and it's like watching a car accident. Like I can't, even if you yell, the cars are in motion, there's nothing. So I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah. Oh man. I've seen comedians implode on stage multiple times.
Oh wow.
And it's hilarious every time.
Oh,
I've seen them break down, because what's happening is you're watching Darwinism at its finest.
Oh good Lord.
You're watching Darwinism as you're watching the filtering process. Now, usually it happens in silence, but sometimes it happens on stage. And when it does, it's like watching a shooting star.
Dear Lord.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, mess up everything I'm doing.
Yeah, you're like, Mom, I'm coming home late.
Oh my god.
And this is hypothetical, by the way. You live with your mom. Mom, I'm coming home late. I don't know.
Yes. Because the implosions outside of LA I think are worse than the implosions I've seen on stage in LA.
The implosions that you see in LA do not take place on stage. Like Chris D'Elia's implosion didn't take place on stage. Louis C.K.'s implosion. Right. You're not seeing people have the same degree of a breakdown on stage. Mm-hmm. I will say, I believe this was at the Laugh Factory. I cannot remember. But this comic who was not a well-known individual. I say that with no ill associations, but he just wasn't well-known.
Nobody knows.
No one knows anyone at the Laugh Factory. Yeah, it's Laugh Factory. It's Tony Rock and whoever else is around that day.
That's right. That's right. Tim Allen.
Did you say Tim Allen?
Yes.
Still
doing runs.
Yeah. Tim the Toolman Taylor shows up there with the drill, and he's got on stage, and no one was laughing. Which, in his defense, it was a tight crowd, but no one's laughing, and he just looks at the crowd, and it's not a full implosion. He just goes, like, what am I doing here? Genuinely.
Right.
What am I doing here?
Right.
He's like, maybe I'm just not funny. Maybe it's not you. Right? Because this isn't the first time it's happened.
Right. And
I'm just watching this. I'm like, don't say any of those things. And one of the things that going back to your relationship comment, one of the things that Jess said she liked about me is that she goes, yeah, when the audience isn't laughing, you don't immediately turn on them. I said, no, I don't.
Yes, you don't. And I like that a lot, because we've seen each other work out a lot.
Of course. I love your stuff.
Even same with you. And even, there were times when we got great spots, and there were times where we got really, really bad spots. And you know what?
My whole life is bad spots.
And even when it was rough, you never ever did that. You stuck to the material. You don't turn on the audience. You don't blame them. And it's just like, I love that. Like, you're here to work.
100%. Well,
you're here to work.
Here's what's crazy. This is what a lot of comics don't realize. We don't have to necessarily say what it is and what it isn't. But for me, the audience does not owe you anything.
They don't.
The audience does not owe you anything.
They don't owe you anything.
And if they don't laugh, that's fine.
Right. But it's the same principle too for comedy writers. It's like for TV comedy writers, like everyone, like all the comics kind of scoff because Big Bang Theory was so successful. And it's like, what was their secret? And the biggest thing was that as a comedy show, they didn't make their viewers feel stupid.
Yeah.
It was just like even when these people were smart and were talking about things, like the writing never talks down on the audience. And it was something I took away from that. It's like, comics, we shit on everything. That's like friendly, but that's important. I think that's important.
So this is going to sound crazy, but this echoes your point 100%. Have you ever heard of the show Brockmire?
Yes, I've heard of Brockmire.
Okay.
Yes.
So there was a joke on Brockmire that I laughed so hard at that I paused and had to rewind because Jess, my girlfriend who was sitting with me, didn't understand it, and I wanted to explain it to her so she could see it again. The joke, do you know who Kenny Loggins is?
Yes, everyone knows Kenny Loggins. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know who Loggins and Messina are?
I don't know who Loggins and Messina.
Right. So Loggins and Messina was the group that Kenny Loggins was in before Kenny Loggins went solo.
I didn't even know he was in a group before he went solo.
Yeah.
I thought he was solo the whole time.
No, there were Loggins and Messina, and then Loggins went to be solo.
Okay.
And in the joke of Brockmire goes, and I'm going to butcher it a little bit, so if anyone's listening at home, you could look it up, and it's the right way. And also, I realized I didn't tell you about the how to steep your tea. I'll tell you that in a second.
Okay.
But,
I know I'm violating all the...
No, there's no violating.
Really?
That was on me.
Because I love this tea.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, here, listen.
Yeah.
Here's...
And you said this was Voulez-vous coucher?
Yes, that's what it is. It's Will You Sleep With Me Tonight?
Yes.
And it's by the way, for the steepers at home, brew at 205. And you can actually brew this one for longer. So I would say that you could go 5 minutes, you could go 6 minutes. 5 is probably what's recommended.
Yeah. And for the people who don't know, this tea, like when I saw it, it actually looks like shrooms. Like he gave me the can, and I was like, oh man,
it's got the little blue flowers. It's
yeah,
lovely.
dude. I mean, yeah, for sure.
Anyway,
but I'm sober. I'm safe, everybody.
Yeah. Well, listen, we are both tripping, but it's not from the tea.
No.
So in Brockmire, the guy who played by Hank Azaria, his name's Brockmire, he goes, so he said this? And the guy goes, well, I assume. He goes, that right there's the problem. Knowledge and assumptions are a lot like Loggins and Messina. They seem the same, but time has proven one of them to be absolutely useless.
Damn.
And I laughed so hard because you don't need to know a lot about Loggins and Messina to know you've never heard of Messina.
Right.
And
I bet that line was slipped in there too. I bet it was just like slipped in.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
I could not stop laughing. I thought it was one of the best jokes I'd ever heard. and Jess laughed, but once I explained it to her. But I realized in that moment, I was like, yes, I love this joke. Yes, I think it's funny. Yes, I think the show, other than the last season, is great. But like, this is a really good example of shows that are being too turning their nose up at a lot of their audiences.
Yes.
There's no way that a lot of people are going to know that joke.
Yes.
There just isn't, but yet they chose to do it.
Yes.
And I'm just like, okay, well, like, the reason Big Bang Theory works, and I'm not a fan of that show, but the reason it works is because they're not doing that.
Yeah.
They're not throwing in a joke that 6 people are going to get.
No.
Because the Loggins and Messina joke, as we've established, is not accessible. No one knows that joke.
I like how you cringe every time I drink my tea. I'm doing this so wrong.
What do you mean? I didn't. Did I cringe?
No. I'm like, go.
No. I'm cringing at the babes. For those of you, those that can't see, Jonas is wearing babe sneakers.
I like to be comfortable.
I respect it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you alter between those and your Crocs.
Yeah. Yes. It took me a while to be comfortable wearing them on stage.
Babes or Crocs?
Babes.
Oh, okay.
Like all my hearts, like I got to, I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. And it got to a point.
You shouldn't care because, okay. So I think you know this. Maybe you don't. I don't know if we've talked about this. I'm a really big sneakerhead.
Yes, you are. Yeah. We used to talk about this too.
I used to bring out a different pair of sneakers, kind of like at any big show, not little shows. You know, if I'm doing like a hotel bar, I'm not going to pull out a pair of sneakers. And then every other day, I have like some beaters that I like. Probably 3, 4, 5 pairs of beaters that I like. Switch between. Yeah. But one pair that I wear into the ground are a pair of Donald Glover Adidas. Donald Glover did a collaboration with Adidas.
Yes, he did.
And I have all 3 of them. And the ones that I wear are the Continental 80s, and I wear them into the ground constantly.
And they look better.
Yes. I love them.
Yes, I love that too.
I love them. Literally the only reason I had to wash them at one point was because there was a wine stain that was so big, not a Weinstein, not to be confused, a wine stain that was so big. I was like, I gotta wash, I gotta get that out. And I like my buddy goes, you gonna scrub out the other dirt? I was like, no, not that. I love the dirt. Right. But anyway, I wear those all the time. And at one point I was like wore them to a few shows, and I offhandedly mentioned to Jess, I was like, I probably should have worn some like proper kicks on stage. And she's like, yes, but these sneakers are so you. Like anytime I see any sneakers that look remotely close to this silhouette, she's like, I think of you. She's like, you wear those sneakers constantly. Those and like I have like Jameson SBs, like those 2 sneakers I wear.
You wear comfort
all the time.
You wear comfort.
I think you can make other shoes comfortable. Like Jordan 1s are not inherently comfortable, but you can make them comfortable.
You can make them right.
You can wear them a little looser. You can make them comfortable.
Right.
I think Jordan 3s are incredibly comfortable, but like I wear Nike SBs and Dunks a lot because I think they're more comfortable.
Right. I feel like you brought up this. I have to show it to him now. I feel like you brought up the sneaker.
The babes?
Yeah.
Hold it up.
Yeah. I feel like I have to show because they're.
I thought you were gonna just lift your leg up.
No. I'm too big to be lifted. But yeah, this is just what it is. This is what he was watching.
You wear those with a tuxedo.
Yeah.
Patent leather.
Patent, yeah, they go on forever. They're comfortable. So I remember like way back in the, we used to have like our late conversations.
Yeah,
we had this long conversation about, because me and you, like we big on trip.
Yeah,
I put you up there, and we had this whole conversation about earning your right, like to wear certain.
Oh my God,
designer on stage.
I do believe that so much.
And that conversation stuck with me for a while, because I was just like, because I had like a lot of nice stuff, and I had so many insecurities on stage about wearing it. And then after the pandemic, you realize people don't even really care what you're wearing. Nobody cares what you're wearing, especially if you're a comedian. Like, just be funny.
You know what's interesting? I say this applies to clothing, and this also applies to encounters.
Yes.
Right? Who in the world hasn't had a conversation, walked away from a conversation and goes, oh man, why did I say that? Right? Have you done that? Yeah.
Every day.
Right.
Yes. This morning, actually.
Sure. Yeah, I know. And I didn't love that you said it. But right, we all think that. We all experience that. But what's interesting is, while you're thinking, oh my God, I shouldn't have said that, the other person 99 times out of 100 is also thinking, I shouldn't have said this other thing. Right. They're not thinking about you, because here's the thing.
So true.
You're not sitting there thinking about the thing they said that you wish they hadn't said.
This is true. We're all in our heads.
We're all thinking about our own stuff. So like, I just had this thought, literally. I'm just sharing with you real time in my brain. I go, oh, well, you're like, yeah, it doesn't matter what we wear stage. I go, yeah, I probably wouldn't wear this cardigan I'm wearing right now. And then I go, why not?
Right.
No one cares.
Nobody
Someone's like, oh, he's on his Mr. Rogers game. Fine. I don't care.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
Cool. Yes, I do. I love a good cardigan. Right. Let me tell you something. I wore a cardigan once to, I think it was the Comedy Store, knowing I was going to get roasted. Knowing.
Yeah, you got to go to the Improv with that.
Yeah. Knowing I was going to get roasted. And can I say something? Mm-hmm. I've never had more men who I've never met, comics, male comics I've never met, come up to me and ask me where I got that cardigan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we're too scared to do it.
But random dudes started coming up being like, yo, hey man, I'm a comic, blah, blah, blah. I think I've seen you around. Hey, where'd you get that cardigan though? I was like, because that's the thing. We get so in our heads, we're like, maybe other people would enjoy a mustard colored cardigan.
Do you still believe that? Do you still believe in like they're earning, because we were talking about other comics who are like fly on stage, but like not get in the audience. Do you even believe in that anymore?
A little bit. I believe that.
Because I thought about that every time I went on stage in the green room. I was like, "Fucking Josh."
If you come on stage looking super fly, you better be funny.
Right.
That's my thought.
Yes.
If you come on stage wearing Eddie Murphy's suit from Raw, you better be funny. If you get on stage with that outfit and you go, "What's the deal with notebooks?"
Oh, right. Right.
Yeah. Then you deserve to get ridiculed, because you're setting a tone for the audience. So if I come up in a cardigan and then I murder, which is typical. By the way, anyone who hears this is going to be like sitting there, just like push their glass up, and be like, "That is not typical. He does not murder. He has never murdered."
You have actually worn a cardigan. You've worn a cardigan up there. Yeah, you have.
100%. Yeah,
you have.
Because I don't care.
Yeah, sweats. You like sweats? I love. Sweats.
I won't do that. That I won't do. That I won't do.
I love sweats.
I will not do sweats, and I will not do joggers on stage. I don't do either of those.
Wow.
Is that weird?
You know what? Honestly, you still respect this. I don't do shorts. I know comedians who do shorts.
No.
I don't do shorts. That's a no-no for me.
Let me say something. Short pants, short career. Okay? That's...
You know how many store regulars I've seen like wear shorts on stage? Like,
and they're destined to forever just be store regulars. Is that too mean? I don't know.
They're going to die doing midnight spots.
Yes. Yes. 100%.
No, I've seen it. So I was like, I guess that's their thing. I don't know. Like, everyone has their thing, but shorts, no.
Funny side story, by the way. The jeans I'm wearing right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I went down. I was doing a bunch of shows in San Diego. It was like some crazy stuff that you could only do in San Diego, like 7 shows in 3 nights, like real San Diego craziness.
Right. Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like New York, you could also pull that off, but that's not an LA thing. So I was going to do a bunch of shows, and I was driving down there with Jess and a comic we were talking about earlier, Caleb Sinan, wonderful guy. Shout out to Caleb, he's great. And we're all driving down there. And I'm not exaggerating. Like there's a lot of traffic, so it's a 4-hour drive. We're 2 hours into the drive, and I literally do this. I go, I didn't pack pants. I literally go, I didn't pack pants. And Jess goes, very funny. And I go, no, I didn't pack pants. And I'm wearing joggers at the time. And Caleb goes,
and that was all you had.
That's all I had. And Caleb goes, so when you say pants, you mean literally, like, did you pack slacks? And I go, no. And Caleb goes, so you just have no pants? And I said, yeah. I had a show. We were in so much traffic. I had 45 minutes between getting to where I was staying and being at the show.
Wow.
Ran to the nearest Levi's. They're not a sponsor, but I'm going to say it. I wear them. I love them. I go to the nearest Levi's, was on the border of San Diego and Mexico. It was literally on the border.
This is like below Chula Vista. This is like below.
This is where the Trump wall was built.
Yes. Okay. Yep. You can. And yeah, it's broken down. You can still see pieces. of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. You can see it. 100%. You can see it. And went to this like little mall. If you look this up, there's probably only one mall that's right on the border. Everyone can find it.
One, yeah.
It's right off the highway. And I went there and had to last minute buy these pants because I was like, I'm not wearing joggers on stage.
You see. This is the luxury skinny people have. Now, I can't do this. You understand?
What?
Listen, if I forget my pants,
yeah,
I got to wear under. That's all I got. I cannot find a waist size 44. I can't walk into a Levi's store and just find like a 40 and
so
up.
44 is, and I apologize, I'm sounding privileged here, but
you're sounding healthy. That's what you're
actually, the worst case scenario happened when I went for my check-in, my doctor check-in. I go, step on the scale. I go, and he goes, no, step on the scale. And I was like, okay. And I turn to him right before I get on the scale and I go, here's what's interesting. The third worst case scenario, if we're ranking, the third worst case is that I've lost weight, right? The second worst case is that I've gained weight.
Yeah.
The first worst case is that I've stayed the same. And the doctor goes, why? And I said, because I know I've put on weight. So if I've stayed the same, I've lost muscle. So now I'm just fat and unmuscly.
Wow.
I got on the scale, exactly the same.
Exactly. Look at you.
I'm saying I lost all my muscle, dude. I'm muscleless now.
But you weigh the same.
I can't do push-ups anymore.
Listen, some people can run and some people
I can't. I can't do anything.
Yeah, and I can't.
Well, I think that's as good a time as any. Are you ready for the Newly Friend game?
Yes, I forgot. Yes, we do have segments.
We have segments,
we
baby.
We have segments. That's right.
Pick up your board.
Okay.
So the Newly Friend game works in this way. It's a lot like just randomly the Newlywed game. I didn't choose it. That's just how it is.
Okay.
So,
can we gamble on this?
Yeah, you can. We can gamble Halloween candy. I'm gonna. So I'm gonna ask you a question. Don't answer it. But I'm gonna ask you a question. We're both gonna write down our answer of what we think you're gonna say.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Then we'll flip our boards on 3, see if we got it. Okay. And then we'll do one for me.
Okay. Now I want y'all to know this game has started a lot of arguments between you and Jess.
Yeah. I was gonna say. Yeah. It's like, when are we gonna get married? And I hold up, never. Yeah. That just doesn't. It's not what she wrote.
She has like 2 months.
Yeah. That's not what she wrote.
All right.
Okay. So here we go. The question. Don't tell me, but write it down. What do you think is the worst state in the U.S. to do stand-up in?
Wow. That's a good question.
The worst state to do stand-up in. Okay?
That's a great question. Okay.
But I'm going to circle. This is my answer. Okay. Do you have your answer? Worst state that Jonas thinks in the U.S. to do stand-up. Worst state. In 3, 2, 1, flip your board. What did you say? California!
Absolutely.
Jonas said California. I said Arkansas.
Fucking sucks here. Listen. I've been waiting all day for this. You're too sensitive. All right. No. Actually, California is cool. For real, California is cool. It's just LA. San Diego, San Francisco, even Sacramento. They're all awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. You put Arkansas?
I put Arkansas, yeah.
I was going to say Arkansas.
You talk about that Arkansas.
Arkansas. Sure. That Bill Clinton.
You talking about, ooh, Bill.
Honestly, I would rather do a show in Arkansas. I would not mind. I like that. I don't know. It's something that there's a level of sensitivity here that you are consistently fighting against. And you can break through it. It took me a while. When you come to LA, like, I didn't know this, but you actually have to learn how to perform in LA.
It's very different.
Yes. And that was a transition for me.
But what are you, I mean, and I say this in a respectful way, not in a way of pushing back, but what are you doing that's so controversial? One of my favorite bits I used to do was about a gym teacher. Like, you know. Do you remember that bit, by the way? That was funny.
Yes, I do. Thank you, man. Damn, wow, you got that thing stored in there.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good bit.
There is a level of sincerity you have with people. Like, there's a level of simplicity with performing outside of California. It's this thing of like, if I'm down south, or even if someone is a racist, you know it. You know, it's like, sure. it's a lot of closeted stuff here, and sometimes it does leak over into the show in terms of like perceptions, viewpoints, sensitivities, super sensitive.
Yeah, but you're never getting up there being like, and listen, right, wrong, or otherwise, you're never getting up there and being like, woke culture is or you're never getting up there and being like, I don't think Trump was that bad. You know, like
you're doing a lot of stuff here that you know works, and it's like, oh, this is just a temperament. But there is a thing about it I do respect, because it does make you better. You do learn to perform way more.
Here's the thing. There's a comic that I was once on a show with, and he was very hacky. So he was doing stuff where he was like, yeah, you know, I tried to log on my computer the other day so I could look up when my show schedule was, and I couldn't turn it on. And I was like, well, apparently my computer's taken after my wife.
Right.
And I'm like, really? Is that what we're doing? And here's the thing. He is a road dog. He regularly is on the road, and he's doing shows in the Midwest, and that kind of stuff crushes there.
Yes,
but here's the thing: do you want to be doing that? Like, do you even if you could crush? If someone told me I could crush by doing those jokes, or I would bomb by doing mine, I'd rather die doing mine.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's why I don't mind LA as much. The other thing for me specifically, the reason I chose Arkansas, there is definitely a partially feminine energy to me. You know, there's a joke that I do where I say on my most masculine days, I'm probably 60-40 masculine to feminine, like, you know, which is fine. Like, I don't mind that at all. But and listeners, feel free to disagree. Tweet us. You know? Tweet us. Do you love that? Tweet us. Instagram us. You know, but I think that that is the kind of energy. So I do a joke, not to like, you know, give away my current set, but I do a joke about that gets into the ideas that if men actually understood what a pedicure was, every guy would be lining up around the block for one.
Yes, you got to get pedicures too. I get mine done.
I am telling you, I would not. I was like, the thought of it, I was like, I would never. And Jess goes, just come. And I said, fine, but I'm not getting one. Yeah. And they hand me the menu, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? What is it? All this comes with it? Right. And the champagne?
Right. Right. I bet you were embarrassed to ask for it. Can I get the honey scrub?
Yeah. Oh my God. Here's what's funny. This is true. So the woman who was giving me my first ever pedicure, she starts asking me questions. Her accent is a little thick, so I'm having trouble hearing her. So I just said yes. So I just kept saying yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes. At the end of the thing, and this is Jess's regular nail place. At the end of the thing, I found out that from then on, they call me, they always ask when I'm coming in. Every time she comes in, they go, when are you bringing your husband? Even though we're not married.
When you bring your husband?
Yeah. But they call me the yes man because I said yes to everything.
Wow.
I know.
That means they look forward to you.
Well, I have fun. I dig it. Okay. The only thing that gets me a little, it like that when they like scrape your foot, I get very ticklish, and I get like a little out of my element. I'm like, ooh. It's like when you drink seltzer too fast. I'm like, oh.
When I go in a new salon, the women just run away. Like they just run.
They're like, we know we're not doing his hair. It's gonna be something.
I don't know what they assume my feet look like when they look at me. You're a big guy. You're a size 13. They see the size.
Are you a size 13?
Yeah, I'm
a size 12. That's funny.
Get out of here.
That's true. How tall are you?
6'1".
Oh, what I wouldn't have done is swap with you.
Really?
Yeah. Can I say something? I'm 5'10". The doctor the other day goes, I think you might be losing height. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, it happens naturally. I was like, I'm in my 30s. I'm not in my 60s.
Are you going to do that leg surgery to get a little...
No. I'm good with my height. But listen, I'm 5'10", maybe for another 6 months. I might be dropping to 5'9" by the end of the year. I don't know.
Wait, so what was did you have a second?
So the second one that I wanted to make a case for is North Dakota. Now, I want to be really clear about my North Dakota comment.
Yeah.
I know multiple comedians from North Dakota who are exceptionally funny, who are great performers. I once performed in North Dakota. And I've lived in Minneapolis, where the high one week was -9 with wind chill. I lived in Chicago, where one night the wind chill brought down to -62. We were not allowed to go outside. City orders.
Yeah.
Okay. I once did a show in North Dakota where I was so cold walking from my car into the venue that it took me about 30 to 45 minutes to feel comfortable enough that I could move my hands and walk around. And to me, I just
was this in Fargo?
It was in, I don't remember exactly where it was. I can ask the guys because I was with a few guys.
There's always someone who freezes to death out there.
Every year,
it's a story.
I am telling you, I was so cold that I have so much respect for the comedic scene and the comedians that come out of North Dakota. I just can't. I really like it was just too cold for me. I don't think I would want to go there again.
Wow. I love going up on stage with jackets. And
I love a good one. I love to layer. I mean, what are we talking about?
Scars. I love layering up, all that stuff. But the people that are used to it, and they'll laugh.
Let me be clear.
You're suffering, they're loving it.
The audiences were great.
Yes,
that's not at all a comment on the audiences.
People, yeah.
Like listeners, if any of you are from North Dakota, I have so much love for you. I'm never gonna come again. No, I'm never gonna. I don't think I'm ever gonna go to North Dakota in the short term again. Like I'm thinking about like next year where I'm gonna go, and I'm thinking about Denver and Phoenix and just Tampa to hang out with your parents.
Oh, for sure. Please come. I can't wait. One day you're going to be able to sell out theaters and you're going to have to go to like the Fargo.
I'm going to sell out theaters exclusively. I'm just going to do a 15-show run in Tampa, and I'm going to ask your parents to attend every one.
Absolutely.
Every single one.
Can I open? I mean, if...
For a couple. I'm gonna have your mom open for 2, and then your dad open for 2, and then we're gonna see. Do you have any siblings?
Yes.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 3.
Okay, so we're gonna have each of them open, and then we're gonna have you open, and then we're gonna decide who did best in the family.
Watch Friday comes around. Josh walks up to me. He's like, "Hey, Jonas, listen, we're gonna have you go up first. And we're gonna have your dad close out.
Yeah, you're gonna be hosting. Your dad's featuring. What was you? You said you wrote a second state. What was your second state?
Boston.
Well, that's Massachusetts, so Boston's not technically a state, but
that's right. Boston is a state.
Okay.
Miami is a state.
Miami is kind of like a state.
Yeah, Miami is a state.
Miami's kind of like a state.
Yeah, there are like certain rules and exceptions. I wouldn't say all of Massachusetts for sure, because I noticed like around, especially the universities, like some of the best education, like the smartest crowds, like make really good audiences. I've noticed.
But what don't you like about Boston?
Oh, super racist.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Super racist. Segregated still.
Well, so is Chicago.
Right. But the people there, there's a good heart there. And I love how you have to earn their last. Like that's a city. It don't matter how famous you are. You can bomb. Like they'll love you for like 5 and you got to work the rest.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that. It makes you strong.
Can I tell you this is a true story about Boston? I was 7 years old. Not a good start.
Yeah, for sure.
Not a good start.
That's a great way to open this.
7 years old, and
negligent parents already.
Yes, 100%. Well, I went with this on a school trip, but still, that doesn't take away from the fact that generally negligent parents.
Yeah.
I go to Boston, and I want to be clear about something. Okay, when I say I was 7, I mean I was 7. So I didn't understand the nuances of the New York-Boston hatred that exists. I didn't understand that. I was 7. I was 7.
You probably went there with a Giants jersey.
I was there in a Knicks jersey.
Oh, you don't love life.
But again, I'm a 7-year-old. Okay, so like, and the Knicks. It would take 1 billion years for the Knicks to win as many titles as the Celtics have. So like you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not a competition.
You are risking it, man.
Grown man comes up to me. He's like, "You from New York?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "You think you're hot shit?" I'm 7. I'm 7. Okay. Did I think I was hot shit? Yeah, a little bit, but not in that way. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you probably had that cardigan on.
Listen, I don't want to say anything, but like by 7 years old, did I kiss a girl named Aya at the water fountain?
Come on,
I did. I did. No shame, I did.
You probably standing there with a cigarette. The coolest guy.
I'm telling you, I was drinking a 5th of Jack before every class. 7 years old, latchkey kid, 7 years old, drinking the Jack. This guy says to me, spits in my face. Yeah. Spits in my face. Got most of it on the jersey, but got some on my face. And yeah.
You were 7?
7.
Dude, what's going through your mind after that? Did you really fully process like what was happening?
You know what's weird? I didn't cry.
Okay.
I thought I would. I'll cry at anything now.
That tells me
the wind blows, I cry.
Yeah, you were born a comedian.
Yeah, I didn't cry. I didn't cry, but you know what? I was hurt. I was emotionally hurt by that experience.
Were your parents around when they did this?
No, I was on a field trip. They weren't there.
The chaperones, nobody else saw this happen.
No one saw it. My buddy might have seen it.
No, you didn't fight him, nothing.
I think this was a field trip. I don't remember why I was in Boston.
Right.
Honestly, I was 7. It's a long, long time ago. I'm in my 30s. It's been a long time.
Right.
But
you see, he did that to the right person.
I got spit on. Didn't love it. Did not love it.
Right. Ooh.
You know, I don't hold it against Boston. Generally, as a city, to be really honest, and I know you're from Florida, so I'm not trying to say anything, but like if I have to pick a sports team I hate, it's the Miami Heat. It's not Boston. But
wow.
I do.
Really? Why? What's wrong with the Heat?
Well, first of all, as someone who lived in New York for a while, you should know what's wrong with the Heat, which is Pat Riley abandoned the Knicks to go to Miami and try to build a dynasty to beat the Knicks. And then the Knicks, as the 8 seed, beat Miami as the 1 seed in 1999, and it was the best time ever.
But you can't take it personal. Everybody's trying to go to Florida.
I did take it personal. Then years later, LeBron surrounds himself with a bunch of children from New York.
Right.
He's surrounded by a bunch of New York kids and gets all excited. Goes, I'm bringing my talents down to South Beach. And pretty much he did the equivalent of spitting in all those kids' faces.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and I'm just like, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess we all love the Miami Heat.
That's worse. He just straight up pissed on him.
Oh, I'm sorry. We haven't even done mine. We didn't do mine.
You did Arkansas?
No, we didn't do the newly friend game on my side.
Oh,
I just love talking to you so much that this is how we are.
How late were we staying up after?
Oh my God, I once stayed with you until 1:30 in the morning.
Yes.
When we were done at probably 11.
We were like the last 2 cars out of that garage.
100%.
Like we were just it's just our 2 cars.
But those are the best. Those are the reasons I go to that mic is to see someone like you, see someone like Neil. Those are the 2 people who I can have those late night talks with.
Right. And it was chill. Like I just loved it. Like even if I didn't go up, it was just like, all right, Josh is here. I'm hanging.
I truly, and I say this with genuine sincerity, there's no puffery here at all. You are hands down one of my favorite people in the world to have conversations with. Gosh. And I always feel very safe in my vulnerability in conversation with you.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Is that too heavy?
No, dude, this is an honor. I
really do believe that.
This is legitimately an honor. Like
first conversation we ever had, I was already comfortable.
Right. And it clicked.
100%.
Off rip. So it was just things, all right, if Josh is there. But if you weren't there, I'd be like, I'm going to go home.
No, you don't do that. You don't even have to go. You can just like call somebody like, can you put my name in? If I get pulled, I'll drive there.
It's like, yeah. All right, let's do yours.
Okay, let's do mine. You ready? Who is my favorite rapper? Chance you get it right. Chance you don't. Big question. Did I just give you a hint? I don't know. Okay, you ready? Flip your boards in 3, 2.
Switch last minute.
Oh, he's switching last minute.
Last minute switch.
Oh God! All right. 3, 2, 1. Flip your board. Who'd you write? Tekashi.
I put Tekashi 6ix9ine.
And you put Eminem. That's racist. That is racist. I put down Childish Gambino.
Really? If it makes you feel any better, I wrote Tekashi first.
Did you actually write Chance as a joke?
I was actually writing Chance, and then you did the whole Chance thing, and then I was just like, oh,
you're like he's definitely not.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I really like Chance a lot. I think he's great. Listen, like I grew up on Jay-Z. I would say that's like probably where my head goes in terms of like longer term of who I've listened to the most. I loved him growing up. I loved DMX.
Yeah.
Was really big into that.
Yeah.
But the other thing I always liked to find was there were rappers where I'd be like, oh, this is interesting. And then they would never release another song ever again. The one-hit wonders of the late 90s, early 2000s rap stuff.
Yeah.
I remember there was a song. This was not a good song. Okay. I'm objectively saying this is not like a hit. This isn't a classic. This isn't like 22 Twos. This isn't like, up there. Okay. There is a song called, I'll give you the clean version name was Bump That. Okay. It was by an artist called Bathgate. I do not think he ever made another song again.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know who that is?
No, but was Doom your favorite rap?
Like MF Doom?
Yeah.
I liked MF Doom.
MF Doom was hard.
Yeah.
I just felt you'd be one of those
Rap
guys.
Snitch
like,
Knishes? Give it to me. Give it to me. Yeah,
like
for sure.
Those guys.
I like him. You know who I really like who no one likes? Kyle. Do you listen to Kyle ever?
Kyle. Yeah, he's actually really, really talented and lyrical.
I don't know why people don't listen to him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because he's a clean-cut kid.
Yeah, but like, and this is the crazy thing. I say this with a lot of respect for the person I'm about to say. Everyone spends so much time getting on like Tyler the Creator, and I'm like, I don't really see it.
You don't get Tyler?
I don't. Wow. And I say that with, again, no disrespect. I'm not disrespecting him as an artist. I think what he's doing seems unique and exciting. It's not
you're disrespecting me as a person.
No, that's intended. I'm saying I don't want to disrespect him or any of the listeners. Listeners, if you like him, I love you. Jonas, if you like him, you're garbage.
Yeah. Wait, so you don't get the music, you don't get the visuals?
No. The visuals I get, but the music I don't.
Okay. He pulled up to Improv Space one time in a McLaren. Like Tyler the Creator, he pulled up to Improv Space, walked in, checked out the mic for 2 minutes, and then just took off. in a McLaren. Like he really for real did that.
You might be confusing at the time I pulled up in a McLaren. It might be.
Oh, that was you.
Or was it my 2002 Toyota Avalon? Which was it?
Oh,
it might have been that Toyota.
Yeah, because it was the way you
They're
pulled
similar.
up.
Yeah,
because you went skirt with the Avalon.
Yeah.
I was like, that's hard.
Here's the thing.
And then you hopped out.
You thought that was the car. I hire someone to go skirt. I did that. Yeah. I had 21 Savage in the back. Migos in the front. Just like yeah, skirt. I just had to do it.
They put a speaker on the top of you. Skirt.
Yeah. I want to release an album of exclusively ad libs. That's all I want.
And actually, that would do well.
Probably.
I'd love to listen to ad libs just as much as the song now.
I want to get to the second segment. Segment 2 is called Teach Me Something. I've been told that I speak too much and that I never know what I'm talking about. So I'm hoping that you are going to teach me something. It could be anything. It could take you 10 seconds. It could take you 10 minutes. Please don't make it 10 minutes. I don't have the attention span.
It won't be 10. Okay. You know what? Here's something. This is really quick.
I'm so into it.
Okay. Okay.
Into it. 100%.
So one of the best pieces of advice I ever got. This was a point before comedy. I was really involved in like student leadership, like liaison. Like I did lobbying for like the public school district. Like,
I'd vote for you.
Thank you, man. Dude, thank you,
I'm
man.
dead serious.
No, yeah. And one of the best things I had learned was actually by another politician at the time who I would actually talk to about like scholarships and stuff. And he tells me, he goes, Jonas, like people won't remember most things you did, but everyone will always remember how you made them feel. And that stuck with me for like, that's a principle I even bring into comedy. It's like, to me, that still applies. Like you can have an amazing set and people won't even remember what you said, but they'll remember the feel. Even if they see you weeks down the line, they'll just remember like, yo, I saw your show. Like, you've gotten that, but like, it's been a while. I saw that show you did way back. They can't tell you one joke you did, but the feeling sticks with them forever. And so
that's the best so far of anyone in this segment. That's
really?
The best answer we've gotten so far. That reminds me of, this is such an unrelated story. I shouldn't talk. It's not good to talk trash about people, but I'm going to.
And you feel good when you do it.
Honestly, I can't get enough. Yeah. I mean, this is technically a podcast that's about literal tea, but let's spill a little tea.
Absolutely. Oh, that should be a segment.
Spill the tea.
Ooh.
Just like have someone be like, tell me some dark stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm at a bar with a friend of mine, and her friend happened to be at the same bar. And she's like, oh my God, hi, come over. And like, I wasn't on a date. And this other girl walks over with the guy she's dating, who is none other than Marlon Wayans.
Oh yes, he's a nice guy.
He. I was like, hey, how's it going? I was like, I'm Josh. She's like, I'm Marlon. I was like, nice to meet you. And the friend I'm with, she goes, oh my God, it's so good you guys are meeting. She turns to Marlon. She goes, Josh is a comedian. He is absolutely hilarious. I feel like you two would get along. And Marlon goes, you're a comedian? I go, yeah. And he goes, I haven't heard of you.
Wow.
My immediate thought goes, well, he doesn't know my last name. As if that make a difference. As if that made a difference. I go, he doesn't know my last name's Lanzet. So,
wow.
But yeah, he said that, and I go, yeah, no, I'm not really well known.
Their family. I don't know if they're Jehovah's Witnesses. Their family is Jehovah's Witnesses.
I didn't know that.
Yes, their family. I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses.
You're also a Jehovah's Witness.
Yes.
Didn't know that.
Donald Glover was also one of Jehovah's Witnesses.
I am someone who asks a ton of questions when it comes to religion, not to yank down anyone's religion. I do the same thing about my own religion.
I think that's a good thing, by the way. I don't know why that's perceived as such a bad thing.
I don't either.
That's actually a good thing. Like, people should be asking questions.
Yeah, like I said to Jess, we were talking the other day, and I like talked about the fact, I was like, a lot of people who are super religious cherry pick what they're religious about. I said, now I cherry pick too, but I don't claim to be a very religious person. So like, I eat shrimp. That's not, I'm not supposed to do that, but I do that.
What's wrong with shrimp? I don't know nothing about it.
Oh, Jews aren't supposed to eat shellfish.
Jewish people can't eat shellfish?
Well, if you're really observant, you're not supposed to eat shellfish. Yeah. If you're keeping kosher, you're not allowed to eat shellfish.
Wow.
I know, but I eat it.
I had a Maine lobster roll with a rabbi last night.
So, I ask questions about religion all the time because it's fun to think, not because you need to prove it in one wrong.
Yes.
So anyway, her and her mom, we were staying in her mom's place.
I'm sorry, is she Jewish too?
No, she's Christian.
Okay, continue the story.
We're at her like parents' place, and her mother and her are getting a little chirpy, like at each other, not in a mean way. Her mom is a saint, and they're getting a little chirpy. And Jess, just like sometimes Jess will fight fire with just like a bazooka, and so like they're getting a little chirpy, and Jess goes, really like slyly, she goes, "Hey mom, according to your religion, Josh is going to hell."
Dang, in front of you?
Oh yeah. And Jess's mom comes back in. She goes, "Oh, well, that is not true." And Jess goes, "Yeah, it is. Read your good book." And her mom goes, "Well, I don't believe he's going to hell." And then and Jess just looks at me and does this. She goes, "Mm?" And I was like, "Jess," I'm like, "Stop doing that." And I think it's partially my fault because I definitely drove her to like think more critically about religion, but like not in a negative way, but just think critically. But I'm like, you can't do that to someone.
You literally can't.
Literally, there's a woman, her mother is a woman who in her guest bathroom has a sign that says, "Faith is believing in what you cannot see."
Right.
And you're throwing at her, "Hey, according to your religion, your future son-in-law is going to hell."
Right. Do you think they probably had this? You think she probably had a conversation? Like,
I think Jess was just trying to start some.
Oh, okay. That's even better. I love that so much.
Jess loves nothing more than building up a little kindling, lighting a match, and be like, "Oh, sorry, I'm gonna go get coffee." Just letting it blaze.
Just throw a kerosene tank on it.
Yeah. Just like, "Oh, what was that? Oh, that fire? Yeah, good luck."
No, dude. People miss the whole part, especially in Christianity. Like, they miss the whole part where it's like, dude, the Bible never tells people to judge anybody. Like, that's literally
love thy neighbor.
That's literally all we're told. It's just like that's literally not our place to judge anybody. Like, we just do what we're told. Like, we only know what we know. I always wanted to ask this question.
Please.
Does the Bible actually mean anything to Jewish people?
Technically, no. Mm-hmm. So Christianity is built on the Old Testament and the New Testament. Judaism is only built on the Old Testament. Mm-hmm. So anything like I'll give you a really good example. Mm-hmm. I tend to think that Revelations is fascinating because it is just like a horror film in the Bible.
Right.
That's New Testament. So Jews, nothing about that. Everything about Jesus walking on water.
So what's the salvation? Nothing. Where's the salvation? Like, what do they believe is
there's a place called Murray's Bagels. It's on 12th and 6th. Anytime I make a joke like that, I always turn to Jess and I go, "So should I film my half hour?" She goes, "No one's going to watch it. So you do what you need." Are you ready for the lightning round?
That's right. Yes, I keep forgetting we have segments. We get lost.
Listen,
okay, let's go.
This is our final segment.
Okay.
5 questions. When I say lightning round, I really mean that the questions are shorter, but your answers could be as long as you want.
Okay.
First question. What is a favorite ritual of yours? So like for mine, it's making tea in the morning.
Oh man, dude. I wake up in the morning. I just stretch naked.
Stretch naked.
I stretch naked. That's what I love to do.
I thought it was weird the first time I saw you do it, but I think it's
you're right there. Yeah. And you didn't say nothing the whole time.
No, I didn't. I was mesmerized.
Yeah. You waited until I finished and then you told me.
Yeah. That's often how I approach sex as well. I wait for people to finish and then I talk.
So polite.
Not in conversation though. What is a running bit that you have with a friend or a partner that makes you laugh?
So my boy, Jared Waters, he's a comic in New York. He actually blew up through the whole pandemic. He actually ran the most independent shows in New York.
Oh, wow.
Like Parks, he took over Parks and just like put a microphone out and people started like, he's become the guy in New York now. But every time we started in Tampa together and every time we see each other, we say black actors.
Do you say names of black actors or do you say the phrase black actors?
No, at the end, when we done with our conversations, we just say black actors and we hang up the phone.
Oh.
We'll be like, "Hey, good to hear you, bro. Black actors, man." Or like a show or something, like he'll be going, I'm like, "Hey, man, black actors." But
I like it.
I
want to meet Jared.
You would love him.
Question 3, can you do an impression of either or both of your parents?
Yes. You know what, man? My first year doing because they're Haitian. They have the accent.
Listen, pick a parent. Hit me with an impression.
Listen.
You want a bonus? Do both.
And you know what? I rode on the back of my parents' Access all the way into comedy clubs.
Listen, whatever takes you there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. My dad for sure kills me off. So my dad was a Teamster, and I don't know if people know who that is, but he used to the people who make the movies and stuff.
Yeah,
they do all the trailers for him and stuff like that. And so, yeah, he was. And what these unions like to do is they love hiring immigrants because they don't care about famous people. They're just happy to be in America working. And my dad was that. So my dad would work with all these people and he would do these wild projects that we'd all see. And he couldn't gauge how famous the people he was working with were.
Sure.
So the only way he could gauge how famous they were was like to casually name drop them to his children, and based on our reaction, he would know how famous somebody was.
He's like, have you heard of Washington Denzel?
so he would always have these moments. So he would literally be at work and he'd come back. This particular time, he actually called us in school. So he was on the set of Men in Black 2. And like this was, and he doesn't, these projects like this, and he doesn't know like the magnitude. He's just, I have a family to support. I'm working. So he's on the set and he has the trailers and he's setting up the trailers for all the actors. And his responsibility is to make sure that they're where supposed to be for call time. That's his thing. And he had to be like strict as hell about it. And so he would, we'd be in school and he would call us. He would go, he'd be with someone. He wouldn't know how famous they were. He'd be like, Jonas, listen to me here. I'm running late. I'm going to pick you up from school. But the problem is I'm here right now with Will Smith. And I'm going to be late. And I'm losing, me and my brother, like we're losing our minds. Like you're with Will Smith and he gets it. And then so now he goes, okay. And he like puts the phone away and he goes, okay, Will, you can go use the bathroom. Like I hear him like he lets him outside his trailer because he knows this person is famous. 10 minutes later, he calls us back. He goes, okay, Jonas, I'm coming right now. I'm just going to finish up the trailer for Tommy Lee Jones. And he's like,
dear Lord.
And we're kids. Like we don't know who Tommy Lee Jones is. Like we inner city kids. Like it's a white dude. Like we don't know. And my dad didn't get a reaction from us. And he goes, okay. And he puts the phone away. He goes, Tommy, get back in your trailer. Get back in your trailer. Get back in. Jonas, I'm coming to get you. Click.
Like, no love for Tommy Lee Jones.
No love for Tommy Lee Jones. I mean, now I'm sorry. And now I know who he is. If he's watching this.
You think he is?
Yes.
Think he's listening?
He's a huge fan of yours.
I have heard that.
Yeah, he's a huge fan. I mean, it was multiple experiences and stories. Like just.
I love that.
Yeah, he would bring us to like the sets and stuff like that. Like just being a kid and just watching the whole thing. And like he would shoot this stuff in like New York City. Like this was like. That's where we grew up.
You know what's crazy? I played Jess the original Men in Black theme song. Mm-hmm. And I go, oh, isn't this amazing? And she goes, oh, I haven't heard it before. She'd be like, that's the one with, oh no. There's Big Child right there.
Casualty. Am I the first guest to spill tea on myself?
I mean, you spilled the tea. We asked you to.
Yes, you did. We actually spilled the tea.
That's what I like. Question 4. Have you ever had imposter syndrome? Absolutely. And is there a particular time that you can remember?
That's every time I go. That's every time I go to the store. Like that's like.
That's why I don't go.
Yeah, that's every time I go to the store. You walk in, and it's just people. But it is nice because you do feel that way. But I kind of understood the process starting in Florida. It's like you work for all these road guys, and then when you actually run into them at the cellar, or the store, or it's like, oh, you actually moved out here. And it helps. There's a level of respect there. So it's all the time. I have that imposter, like in the thing about back of my mind. Like I think we all felt that during the pandemic. That first time you had to go up in like months.
Yeah.
Then you feel like so guilty to your craft.
I waited a year and a half and I got on stage and I literally right before I got on, I go, ooh, I think if they knew I was here, they probably wouldn't have come. Which also belies a sick belief that they would know enough about me to know not to come, which is not true.
They would have came regardless, Josh.
Yeah, yeah. If I were there or not there,
then they'll see you and they'll come back.
Did you not know I'm a draw? I'm a ticket draw.
I know.
You know something? Not even in my own mother's house. She's never seen me perform stand up.
No, you are a ticket draw, but I've won no raffles from you.
Yeah,
but you are a draw.
Yeah, I'm a draw for someone. We just haven't found them yet.
Yeah.
All right, question 5. If you were a tea drinker, what is your favorite tea? If you're not a tea drinker, what's your favorite comfort?
Tea drinker. I have to go with this Haitian tea. It's really good. My dad he does a lot of teas from like special plants and stuff. So there's one called citronelle. It's like a plant that
I've used their candle.
It just hit. Okay, yeah, citronelle. Yeah, it's a real. It's actually a plant, and the leaves smelled like lemon. Like they smell like they don't make any fruit, but it's so aromatic and minty that if you grow it in your whole yard will smell amazing.
That's amazing.
So he takes literally this plant and he boils it, and it just makes this really beautiful, like really good tea that just clears up your nostrils. Like if you have it's just amazing. It's really good stuff.
So let me ask a question. All said and done, how do you feel about this interview?
This was really, and for real, this was fun. But we have this chemistry.
I mean, that's why I had
all
you
these
on.
people saw are just a conversation we would have had
100%.
like,
literally,
we
would have also done all the segments.
Yeah, like the same. We would have had all the segments
in our day-to-day. I'm just like, here's a segment,
right? And we don't count time.
Thank you for being on,
brother. Thank you for having me, dog. This is fun, bro. I legit like it's love. You know that. Too. You know it's love. It clicked instantly, man. But
I know. Well, listen, I love you, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you, bro. Love you too, Josh.
That was Jonas Presendieu. You can follow him on Twitter @BitterBigHead. We'll be back next week, so until then, happy steeping.